Yeah. Nah, no profit. Yo, where you at? Where you at? My homie Lou on the mic. Them other hosts need to stop. They ain't doing it right. If you ain't turned into Lou, what you doing with your life? Conversations so sharp, it ain't your usual night. We got athletes, entrepreneurs, even celebrities. Politicians discuss nationwide discrepancies. Hardcore tackling issues in our community. Spreading our knowledge, creating an opportunity. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. 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 Liteskin Lou. Liteskin Lou. Liteskin Lou.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. What's up, everybody? Liteskin Lou is back for another episode, back with another special guest. But before I get started, I want to give special thanks to 2022 National Golden Glove champion in the lightweight division, Nasheed Sugar She Smith, for stopping by and showing love. And also thank you guys for your continued support of the channel. So hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And now let me introduce my next guest. This guy is a pro prospect at the super welterweight division and is off to a very, very impressive start. 4-0, 4 knockouts, and one coming most recently, August the 6th. He is the owner of Fightshapefit. He's none other than Victor Vicious Williams.
I like that. How you
That's
doing?
right. That's right, young fella. How you doing today, man?
I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. It's been a long day, been a busy day, but it's been a productive day. So everything is everything.
That's right. That's right. I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on the show. The last 2 weeks since I know you was going to be on the channel, I started doing my research, and I found out some very interesting things about Victor Vicious Williams, and I am so dying to get to it. So we're going to start out this way. We're going to start at the beginning, man. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and how did you get in the box?
So I am originally from Muskogee, a town called Muskogee in Oklahoma. It's about 45 minutes outside of Tulsa. Born and raised there. Went to college at Dartmouth College in New Hampshire. And then I moved down to DC for work. In college, I played college football. I played football and I ran track. So I was a dual sport athlete there. Engineering sciences major, Alpha Phi fraternity. That's a little bit about like what I did at college. And then I moved down to DC for work and kind of hung up the cleats. And from there, I was just looking for a way to stay in shape. That didn't involve lifting so much heavy weight. I've been a football player my whole life. Just been lifting the weight. I was ready to let it go. And my first sport was karate. So I got my black belt in karate when I was 12 years old. And I always knew that I would kind of, come back to some form of martial arts. Grew up watching Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. All my, a lot of my favorite movies and stuff like that were martial arts movies. So naturally, one of my coworkers, I played football with him. So he was a former teammate of mine, and he knew I did karate growing up. And he was like, yo, there's this UFC gym right down the street. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. So we go check it out and just take a general boxing conditioning class. And the instructor comes up to me after. He's like, oh, yo, have you boxed before? I was like, no, I never boxed. He was like, oh, your first punches you ever thrown? I was like, I did some stuff, when I was a kid, but nah, other than that, no. He's like, well, I think you could be pretty good. You should talk to our technical boxing coach, Terrence Wood. And he introduced me to him, and Terrence was like, all right, come back tomorrow. And I came back the following day, then I came back the following day, then the following day, came a week straight, and was immediately kind of hooked on it. And about 2 weeks in, Terrence asked me if I wanted to compete. And I was like, sure, I like competing. And that's kind of history. I never stopped. So yeah, Terrence Wood's still my coach now. And that's kind of how I stumbled upon boxing. And I competed amateur for about 3 years. Pandemic hit, and it was just time to go pro. So that's where we are now.
That's right. That's right. And I'm impressed, man, because I'm not just saying that because you're on the show. Now, Victor, you know what they say about football players who come to boxing. They look clumsy, they look strong, this, that, or the other. But what they don't know is usually that's the heavier weights. You play the skill position. You play wide receiver, if I'm not mistaken, and you ran track. So your quick twitch muscles was in place. This is the same muscles you need for boxing. Was that easy? Did that make that transition easier for you? The fact that you had that good coordination?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what helped most is like the fact that I played so many different sports across my lifetime, and it really increased my capacity for learning, right? You understanding how to learn efficiently is super important, right? So of course, when I started off boxing, I was super stiff, just like any other football player, or anyone that starts off boxing.
Yeah.
I was like, and no one who starts off learning how to fight starts off good. You know what I'm saying? Your technique, needs time to improve. So I would say what helped me the most is just, being able to learn and then having the time and putting in the time to like just do the repetitions and put in quality repetitions.
Yeah, and that's true because when I found out that you played football, the first thing I did was start looking at your video, and I was looking at, okay, usually when a boxer when a football turn boxer, you can kind of see the delays to some degree, but for you, as your fight started going on, I started seeing, I was like, wow, you can't really tell that he played football because the coordination, the timing was there, the counters, everything, and like I said, I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed.
Appreciate you. Definitely got a long ways to go, man. I'm learning more every day, and I spend a lot of hours in the gym perfecting my craft. So I don't identify as a football player anymore, and I haven't for a long time. I'm a boxer, and this is what I do.
That's right. That's right. And I believe when you say you're trying to get better, because as I look up, I see you spar guys like Damon Nicholson, Keyshawn Williams, even had some time with the Russells. That's from what I hear. That's the type of sparring that you need to prepare you for what you're trying to do. Walk us through that whole experience sparring guys like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've sparred Truck too. I think I've had a few rounds with Stacy Selby, Monzo. I've sparred with him, and it's just a matter of the fact that if you want to be the best, like you got to beat the best, and if you want to make sure you're prepared to beat the best, then you gotta have quality work. Like
That's it.
you hit the bag till your face turns blue. You know what I'm saying? But a gym short American don't make you able to fight. You can look good hitting the bag, but what happens when you get punched in the mouth?
That's right.
And stuff gets real, and you take the headgear off. So being in the ring with guys who understand the sport of boxing, not just how to throw punches, but understand the sport of boxing, is definitely been super helpful for me and humbling, of course. So yeah, it's been dope.
That's right. So far, what has this journey been like for you? Because at the beginning of the show, you told us, you went to corporate world and you came to boxing. What has this journey been like so far?
Man, it's been a lot of like learning experience. So I was working in corporate America, and for I did that for I guess 3 years, and I mean, I was doing well, but I could just tell that something wasn't really right for me. I was getting better at boxing. I was traveling a lot, and so that was really tough. And then I found a way to like start doing like part-time boxing coaching for a local gym in DC. Convinced the owner bring me on as director of operations using my corporate skill set. And then that was kind of like my transition into full-time fitness, where I was able to just focus all my time and energy into learning how to serve people from a fitness and nutrition standpoint, as well as a boxing stand, teaching people boxing, but also, giving more time to my own training. Like when I was in corporate America, I was traveling 4 or 5 days a week, still trying to, do amateur fights doing amateur fights on the weekends, shadow boxing in the hotel room, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to get it done. So, being able to transition into full-time fitness and boxing has certainly been a blessing for me to be able to do what I love every single day. And to be a professional athlete, so it's been a journey. I learned a lot, I learned a lot, and I always keep that white belt mentality. But it's definitely been it's been a blessing. So everybody has something to complain about, but don't nobody want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's right. That's right. Don't nobody want to hear it, man. Okay. August the 6th just passed. I was at your fight in Maryland Live. You had a first round knockout. Even though it was a short fight, is there anything that you learned in that fight? It could be through training camp, anything you learned about yourself that can take you to the fight that you currently have October the 15th.
I would just say that like it was a very short fight, so it was hard to like, and I haven't even gotten like the chance to watch a good copy of the fight first.
Okay.
But like, you know, I think it was reassuring to like be against somebody, fighting against somebody who's 6'1", and to be able to close distance and to maintain distance and to see shots coming, and keep my head moving appropriately. So I think that was good. Throughout the course of camp, I don't think there's any one thing that I could point out. It's just like becoming better across the board. Like there's so much in boxing, in the science that, you know, that there is to learn. I've only been doing this for 6 years. So, you know, I'm just soaking it all in. So people say, are you focusing on something specific for this camp? It's like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Of course we have weeks to where we focus on certain things, or, you know what I'm saying, we set up different scenarios and try to overcome those scenarios, good situations, bad situations, worse situations. But it's, you know, it's just more so about increasing my boxing IQ across the board and refining on my technique so that, you know, whenever stuff inevitably hits the fan, it's like, you know, I'm going to fall back onto appropriate movement fundamentals and technique.
That's right. That's right. I watched that fight. I watched it a couple of times. Guy was 6'1". Man, you chop him down like a tree. One thing I was more intrigued. Now, I'm no boxer, but I have a fine eye for it. And one thing that stood out to me was that you was getting under his jab, the so-called jab that he was putting up there. You were able to get around that jab. And that's one thing I look at. You capitalize on what you need to capitalize on, meaning you was the shorter fighter, so you got to get close. And you were able to get close and close the show in the first round. I was impressed, man. I was really impressed.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it going, and it only gets harder from here, you know. So, you know, gotta stay training hard, gotta stay healthy, stay focused.
That's right. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all just getting in here, man, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We ain't here chopping up with Victor Vicious Williams. He got a fight coming up October the 15th. Y'all better get y'all tickets now, because I seen a live where I think you put a video. You was like, look, y'all come on up and get these tickets. I don't want to deal with this stuff at the last minute. So y'all heard it here first. He said, get your tickets. October the 15th, your fight is coming up. What should the people out there expect?
Another dynamic show, you know what I'm saying? Exciting show. You know, like I'm definitely trying to get in there and really improve on my boxing skills, and just continue to take steps forward with my ring experience. What's up? I see somebody coming in
second win boxing. What's up, champ?
Yeah. So in terms of what to expect, like expect a lot of athleticism, coupled with skill. You know what I'm saying? The sweet science, you know what I'm saying? The sport of boxing. Appreciate that, Mel. So just continuing to improve, to be an entertainer. And you know, like, it wasn't like I was trying to get dude out there in 60 minutes. I was hoping for a few more rounds, but you know, I'm sure I'll get what I'm asking for eventually. So, you know, like you said earlier before the show started, you don't get paid for overtime. So
nope.
Gotta reduce that risk as much as possible and keep it pushing. So, you know, a lot of athleticism, explosive power, but a lot of boxing and skills along with it.
That's right. That's right. And that's one thing I like, man. Boxing, you don't play boxing. Like you said, you don't get paid for overtime. One punch could change the whole complexion of the fight. So it could be many reasons why people love boxing. But I'm curious to understand why. What brings you to boxing? What do you like most about boxing?
Man, it's just how intricate it is. You know, as I mentioned earlier, my first sport was martial arts and karate. And I traveled around. Me and my cousin, we traveled around to tournaments and stuff like that, and fought and like won trophies, and just understanding like one, how to defend yourself, how to move your body, and then like the intricacies of distance, of techniques that you can use under like situational application of certain tools. It's just so much you can learn. Like, you can be a boxer or a student of boxing for 20 years and still learn something new every day. So just like that what seems like it's a unlimited ceiling for growth. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I can cap myself, just because there's always new styles out there. Oh, there's different styles out there, and you gotta, if you want to become the best, the better you can master each style, probably the better chance you have of being an elite boxer. So there's just so much to learn, and it's so intricate, and that's what I really love about it the most.
That's right. Yeah, you can't look. I can't argue with that because boxing, that's my shit right there. Boxing, it is. Special shout out to.
You can look at other sports too, like what I'm saying, like let's like MMA. That's like a super intricate sport, but you have so much to learn: groundwork, kicking, like grappling, submissions. It's like the people who are like average or solid at everything tend to be really good, whereas boxing, you're so limited. You can only use your hands, so it's just I think it's a lot more finesse and skill. And
yes, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Special shout out to my man Spoon for tuning in. You played at Dartmouth. I don't know if I pronounced that right. You played at Dartmouth up in New Hampshire, man. What was that experience? I know we talk about boxing, but I'm just curious of what your experience was like. 4 years at Dartmouth. What was that experience like? In New Hampshire, though. This was New Hampshire.
It's cold, my God. I'm from Oklahoma, so first thing is cold. The coldest I experienced was negative 35 degrees. Yeah, it was just crazy. I was there year round, so I ran indoor track and outdoor track. So I was an athlete fall, winter, and spring. So I would say super cold. School was really hard. It's it's an Ivy League institution.
Yes.
I didn't make it easy on myself because I was playing 2 sports and trying to be an engineer. So I would say definitely academically rigorous, cold, but ultimately one of the best decisions I ever made. And the summers is super beautiful. It's God's country up there. So, the outdoor activities and stuff like that is good. But, a lot of my college career was just focused on just athletics. And of course, making sure that I stayed on top of my academics. So, the relationships that I developed there, super important. Those are just like most people, I'm saying, you go to college, those are your lifelong friends.
Exactly.
So I would say, cold, academically rigorous, and, definitely worthwhile. It's put in the hard work, but it was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a good experience. I was watching some of your video. I think you wore number 1, right?
Yeah.
I was watching some of your past plays, man. It was pretty good, man. Watching you, in a different sport, knowing that I was having you on the show for boxing, but to see you shine in another sport, I said, okay. I said, he got some wiggle with him. Okay.
Yeah, I had a little skill of it, got a little shake, so.
Yeah.
And I was a good route runner. I had a little speed, a little bit. I'm just short, that's the thing. So 5'8", I don't got a lot of height on me, so that's the challenge.
Hey Vic, let me tell you something. You know who I thought about when I saw you play? I thought about Steve Smith in college.
Oh,
that's who I thought about. Short, muscular built, but was shifty.
Yeah.
People think when you have mass like that you're not going to be able to move. Now, typically that is true. Like if you have a lot of mass, you got to work extra hard to remain with that wiggle. And I think you did a good job at it.
Appreciate you. Oh, I mean, and wow, like that comparison, that's a big comparison. That's a Hall of Famer right there. Yeah. So I appreciate that, but the difference is like Steve Smith was still like 185 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like I could never get above 170, no matter 5,000 calories a day. Like my coach put me on this, and I could never get above 170, 171. So it's just, I was a little guy, I'm still a little guy.
That's a job just trying to eat and keep weight. That's a job within itself.
Right. I started to hate food. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's being pushed to you,
It's stuffed down.
So with football being a team sport, and everybody knows boxing is a single sport, you're out there by yourself. What was the big adjustment that you had to make? Because with football, you got teammates. but you have teammates in boxing, but they're not in the ring with you. They're your coaches when you went around in. How was that making that transition?
It was fun. Like I said, I grew up like competing one-on-one sports, and I wrestled for 2 years as well. So, I dealt with like going to tournaments and, getting in the ring with somebody, both karate and wrestling, and, having to make weight, spitting in the cup to try to make weight. You know what I'm saying? So like these are things that I've done in the past. I just it was like a break from them. So I just think it was a transition back. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, like this is way different. If anything, I appreciate one-on-one sports a little bit more because if you've ever been a good player on a team that's not great, you understand like sometimes having to rely on other people is not always the best. Like
Not always the best.
Right. So it's like, like if anything, like I kind of appreciate the fact that the only person I got to rely on in the ring is me. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in me and I know I got that dog in me. So if it comes down to it, like I feel like I got more dog than most people. So I mean that doesn't mean I'm trying to go in there and be a tough guy, because tough guys don't last long in boxing. But it's just I think it's a mentality thing for me. So I like the fact that it's 1-on-1.
That's right. That's right. You can't make this up. If y'all just getting in here, hit that like button, man. We in here chopping it up with my man Victor Vicious Wins, man. This man is a football player and a boxer, so don't run up on him. You might get tackled, you might get punched. However, but we're gonna change this thing up, Victor. We're gonna go to the chat room, man, because the questions are coming in, Victor, because everybody wants to know what's this fight gonna be about October 15th. So Kiki, if you got the questions ready, you go ahead and do your thing.
Okay, so the first question I have is from Lorenzo Carpenter. He wanted to know, has karate helped you with your boxing skills?
I would say one, it was so long ago that it's hard to say. I would say it's more so the mentality, like I was kind of talking about earlier, being in that environment. You know what I'm saying? It's like 1-on-1 in a ring where you can't really step outside the ring, understanding like how to strike someone or like how to like get to A to B as fast as possible is something that you have to learn how to do in karate or in any striking sport. So I would say yes. And then also like I started karate when I was 6 years old. So the biggest thing that helped me out was like flexibility. Like I was so flexible growing up. Like I could stand on a chair. They would have us stand on chairs and it would pull the chairs out. And then my butt would be able to touch the ground with my chair. And I could lift myself up, and hold that. And that has translated to like, I'm still really flexible and mobile today. And as a result, I haven't had a lot of like soft tissue, like muscle strains and stuff like that. So I would say like martial arts and karate, because you have to be so limber, created a really good foundation for me in other sports growing up.
Okay. The next question is from Mel. And he said, do you remember getting hit with that first hard punch? Did it make you second guess boxing?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Nah, not really. It made me not want to get hit like that again, and it made me frustrated. It was like, okay, how can I get this back? You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my first punch? I wouldn't say my first hard hit. I would say like getting knocked down on my first body shot. I feel like that was more memorable for me, getting hit to the body, just having all my air sucked out of me and like having to take a knee. I remember that the most. So yeah, that's what I would say. I remember.
Okay. And Mel has another question. He wants to know, who's your football team?
Oh God, I already know where this is going.
He always said this is his favorite question.
Shout out to my man, Big Mel.
Are we talking about NFL?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say by default, Dallas Cowboys is the first choice. And then
he's happy about that.
The host agrees with you, champ.
Hey, let's go. I knew I liked you. And then I would say my second team is Kansas City. I'm from Oklahoma, so we didn't have it. So I have a lot of family in Texas. I have a lot of family in Kansas. So
that's what I like.
Yeah, you like the Chiefs?
Yeah, Killer Trav. That's what
yeah. But to be honest with y'all, man, like I'm also a business owner. So I'm busy. and I don't watch a lot of TV except for to wind down.
Okay.
So the TV that I watch is boxing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I consume unless I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm with my girlfriend, my partner, trying to watch some light TV to fall asleep.
Right.
Other than that, all I'm consuming, all I do is I'm here. I'm in the gym. I'm watching boxing. I'm boxing myself. I'm teaching people how to box. I'm strength training. I'm running. That's what I do.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So I don't even like people. Like I see football on. I'm like, oh wow, it is Saturday. I forgot football.
You get so caught up into your day, man.
I really don't think about football no more.
Okay.
I like it and I enjoy watching it, but it's like it's
right.
never the last thing on my mind.
Right, when you have time because you have busy schedule. The next one is from Jonathan Harris. He said, "Who did you look up to in boxing and martial arts when you were coming up?"
I didn't watch boxing growing up at all. In Oklahoma, I don't know, for whatever reason, that just wasn't the sport. In Oklahoma, it's football. My dad was a 2-time state champion in track in high school, so I was so I was also a track athlete. And I karate. I grew up loving karate, of course. So we was watching a lot of Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Those are all the movies that my cousin and I would watch growing up. So I would say probably Jet Li is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Donnie Yen. I like what's his name? The dude.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I like all of that.
Okay,
that's right.
Let's see. Tony Stewart would like to know, what's your specialty punch?
I don't have a specialty punch. It's just they say, what's the number one knockout punch? That's the one you don't see coming. So
I like that. I like that one.
I try to make sure all my punches are equally dangerous. The people I sparred with, and I would say in the fights that I've had so far, people really don't respond well to my right hand. So,
yeah, ask your last opponent in the first round. He didn't respond good at all to that right hand. He just and like they should have gave him a pillow before he got in that ring. I was like, damn. No, hey Slim, hey Victor, we was right there. And when he came out, I was watching you. You was like, yeah, it's like you was sizing him up. Like, yeah, that tree gonna fall tonight, man. I was loving it, man, for real. So how? If we got any more questions? Okay.
Yeah, a couple more.
Okay.
Well, boxing enthusiasts want to know: do you study other fighters, and who's your favorite fighter to watch?
Yes, I do a lot of film study. Remember, the only thing I really watch is boxing. I got boxing on my monitor right here in front of me. Man, my favorite fighter to watch is Marvin Hagler. I really love Marvin Hagler. I really love the way he, switch stances, throw punches from hidden angles, apply pressure incessantly. I also really like Shakur Stevenson. I like the way he controls distance. Like, I like the way he limits other opponents' options. And as a result, makes people predictable. You know what they want to do, then you can control the fight. I really like Terrence Crawford. I'm excited to see Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence go at it. And I really like Errol Spence. It's like those guys are really the epitome of what those 4 people I mentioned, like of what it means to be elite and like to really perfect your craft and to be multifaceted, to be versatile, all that good stuff.
Okay, it's one more in here, Lou, and that's it.
Okay.
One more. This is from Wheels of Steel. He said, "Who hit you the hardest in your life?"
I remember my senior year of high school. I was on defense. So we played 6A football. If you know anything about classes of schools, like 6A is the biggest, and that means the schools are the biggest. So it's the best level of competition usually.
Okay.
And I played on both sides of the ball. I played offense and defense. So I was in safety. We were playing a team called Jinx. They're on the goal line. They had a star running back who ended up playing at OU, Oklahoma University, and he got some good burn. Big guy. He's about 6'2", 230 as a running back.
That's big.
Yeah, I'm 5'8", a buck 58, So they get in the I formation, they line up. I'm in safety, like they about to run the ball,
Mm-hmm.
Dave comes down through the A hole or through the 2 hole, whatever, and I don't know, for some reason I thought I was about to stop him right at the line, so I ran straight up and tried to hit him like this, and he flattened me, you know, and of course, you know, momentum and weight and all that. So he flattened me, and I'm laying on my back like this. I got stars in my hands. You know, my teammates like, yo, you know, but that was definitely the hardest I remember. I got ran over. They scored a touchdown. It did not work in my favor, but yeah, that's definitely the hardest I've been hit.
Wow. Yeah, that's that day. It's coming through that A gap, boy.
It was not
That's
fun.
all in the chat, Lucian.
That's all you got to chat.
Yeah, in the
That's
chat.
right. That's right. Oh man, if y'all just get in here, man, hit that like button. I'm starting to see the likes go up because they like this guy, Victor Vicious Williams. They like him so much that I got no doubt that they're gonna go check out his fight October the 15th, man, at
Cool.
Maryland Live. That's right. So my next question to you, Victor, is you have a business called Fightshapefit.
Mm-hmm.
You want to shed a little light on that?
Yeah, so Fightshapefit is a semi-private training, a small group training facility, and we are primarily focused on providing personalized, holistic health and nutrition and fitness services and boxing classes to our community. I've noticed that there's a real lack of like holistic care in our community. A lot of people are just focused on like how hard you can work and how much work you can put in without looking at like what are you doing in the other 23 hours in your day if you worked out an hour that day, right? So we like to make sure we pay attention to each and every member to get, of course, personalized and progressive strength training in a way that emphasizes quality movement. We also do personalized nutrition. So everybody gets an eating guide based on their health history, their blood work, all that stuff. What's worked well for them in the past, what hasn't. We talk about nutrition, science at a high level so they understand, the real, like not beyond the fads and beyond like the marketing ploys, like, how food really fuels our bodies. You know what I'm saying? Because once you understand that, you can start to make adjustments based on how your lifestyle might adjust, right? For example, people who are in administration over the summer and then school starts, and those two demands are going to be extremely different. How do you manage that? How do you make sure you stay in good health as like you're trying to prepare for your children to get back into school or whatever? So we try to treat the whole person. We keep everything really personalized, and of course we teach people the sweet science.
That's right. That's right. And I watched on your page, you seem like you're really into it, like really giving people the tips that they need so they could be successful in health, because health is wealth. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Kudos to that, Victor.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's just about finding a need and filling it. This is something that I just so happen to be passionate about, to have a skill set for, to be able to teach people. And so, I'm just trying to pay it forward and help as many people as possible.
That's right. And it helps that you've been down this road because, like you said, you played a sport that required your body to be in peak condition. So this guy right here, he knows what he talking about. So if y'all want to get fit, check out Victor Vicious Williams, man. So my next question, Victor, is you've been with Jetta Promotions for some time now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what has that experience been like?
It's been good. I like Tony a lot. I mean, he's very straightforward. He'll tell you like it is. And, they've been consistently putting out shows and opportunities for me to go compete. And I think that's the most important, for me as of right now. Like I'm 28, not getting any younger. So, it's time to go. I got to get in the ring, get that experience, and take it as far as I can. Kristen Jetta, she's been great. I love working with her and communicating with those people. The venues have been great, fighting in 2300 Arena in Philadelphia and fighting at the Maryland Live Casino here in Arundel Mills has been dope. So, I got no complaints. It's just about continuing to do, more of the same and raise the bar and make more noise and step up to the table. So I really appreciate, their support and, they're connecting me with you all. So man, no complaints. Everything is love.
That's right. I love it, man. You guys, I done been to 2 fights in the last year or so. They put on good cards. All of the cards be competitive. Guys go in there and they fight their heart out, man. And that was one time when I laid my eyes on you, your first, I think it was your second fight. I was like, damn. I said, cuz, cuz getting here there trying to boogie. You was in there trying to take cuz head off. But I love it. That's what it's about, though, Victor. Boxing. You can't play up there because that guy across from you, he trying to take you out too.
Right. It's either him or me. I choose him.
That's right. So cancer, it came knocking on your door, man, but you was able to defeat that. What was that whole experience like?
It was definitely different, like I've been using my body. I've been an athlete my entire life. So, there's and fortunately as an athlete, I haven't had much like injury time. You know what I'm saying? I've been out for a couple weeks here and there. But this surgery was like, it was a series of procedures. I was out for 6 weeks. I got this like 12-inch scar on the inside of my thigh. But I would say that I'm just blessed to have had a good, medical team, been able to pay for insurance so I could get the care in a somewhat affordable way. I really appreciate, my family, my support system being there for me, my friends, whether it be like, being able to get us a meal for that night so we don't have to worry about, so my partner doesn't have to worry about, cooking and also trying to make sure that I'm good or whatever. So, it was definitely different having to be still, and it was a different challenge for me having to step away from my business. I wasn't a part of my, like in the day-to-day operations of my business for the first time. So having to pull strings from the house and really just rely on other people as a team, like I did in football, to execute was something that I hadn't had to do in a long time. And it was a good stress test for my business. So all in all, it was a good learning experience. It forced me to step outside of, my pattern and in a way that forced me to use skills that I had, but maybe I wasn't, I was just focused on other things. So yeah, man, all in all, I'm blessed to be on the other side of it. And to be back competing again. So God is good.
Yeah, that's right. You can say that again, Victor. That's fortitude at its best. Like fortitude is not just something that you experience in the ring. It's also in real life. And that's something big, man, that you able to put that behind you. And I'm pretty sure it humbles you in a way where not when you were, it humbles you in a sense where you know that something can be taken away from you at any given time.
Right. Absolutely. And then also I'm not going to be an athlete forever. Time defeats all. So, I think that was, it's just a reality check. You have to separate what it is that you do from who you are, because what you do doesn't make you who you are. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people mix those two things up. And as a result, when they see something taken away from them, then they go insane. They no longer have an identity because they placed their value in something outside of themselves.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I got a couple more questions for you, Rick, and I'm gonna let you get out of here. My next question, you talked about it earlier. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. I can't let you get out of here, Victor, without putting you on the spot. Who wins and why? Who wins and why?
That's tough, man. I was like Terrence Crawford is I would say he is pretty much him and Marvin Hagler. Those are my two favorite fighters. And I was thinking it's a 50-50, I think, straight up. And then I just been talking back and forth with some of the people I train with. And I was like, I think it's Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford got him. But somebody raised the point to me that was hard to argue with in favor of Errol Spence Jr. And I was like, I see it. You know what I'm saying? So I see either way. It depends on how each fighter adjusts. I know I'm avoiding the question right now.
No, I'm all ears, man, because like I say, I like to hear from boxers, people who are in the ring, because like you say, this is a close fight. So yeah, carry on, man.
I think it depends on how each fighter responds to the strategies that the other is trying to use, one, and then to adversity, right? Each fighter has been, in less than ideal situations, hurt a little bit, So who can make the least amount of mistakes? Who can force the tempo? Who can fight at their pace? Because I think if Terrence Crawford is forced to fight at Errol Spence Jr.'s pace, I don't think that's going to work out well. I think that's fair. I think that if Terrence Crawford can use his boxing skills, set the pace, have Errol Spence move forward and him move backwards at certain times, but as a result, have Errol Spence walk into some shots, I think that could turn out to be pretty good. But it's all based on conditioning.
Yes.
Both fighters are extremely conditioned. So it's a matter of wills, and that's why we watch the sport. You know what I'm saying? Because of the uncertainty of fights like this. So I would, if I had the answer, I would say I think Terrence Crawford gets him, but man, if Errol Spence won, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, because what I do is when I get boxers on the show, I get their predictions on fight, and I write it down so the next time I see you, I'll be like, hey, what you think about that, man? You said Terrence Crawford was gonna win it, Errol. I just kind of call you out a little bit.
Okay, I think that if it goes the full distance,
okay.
I think if it goes the full distance, that Terrence Crawford wins.
Got you.
Yeah.
All right. I have it 51-49.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, 51. You got to. And I'm not going to even say who, but whoever wins. Honestly, I think Spence is going to win 51-49 because when Spence was in the accident, I didn't know how he was going to come back. He fought Garcia and I forget who he fought after that. I forget who he fought, but he dominated. He knocked a guy out, injured his eye socket. He showed me that he's back at that prime level. So that's all I need to see. So now I think it's going to be 51 Spence, 49 Crawford, and you can't argue with that. I mean, for me,
really can't.
Right.
I can say, all right, that's a fair assessment. Let's pay for the fight, support the fighters, and see how it goes.
That's right. One more question, Victor. Mental health. It's been a lot of fighters, just a lot of athletes over the last 6 months who has been confessing to mental health. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that before you get out of here.
Man, I think mental health is just as important as physical health, because at the end of the day, everything that we experience is neural. It's a matter of connections that are happening inside of our brain, and our neurons, those are all physical. So everything is physical. Our brain cannot tell the difference between mental stress and physical stress. The same hormones are being activated internally. So it is absolutely of the utmost importance for performance, for longevity, for health of oneself and the ones that surround that person, especially in a sport that where fighters experience a lot of brain trauma, to make sure that we are in good health mentally. So yeah, I think it's super important. I don't think that it can be understated. A lot of athletes who are very well known go through a lot of stressors that everyday people just don't get. Probably I don't get because I ain't rich. So and I'm not famous. So yeah, it's just about making sure that you have the right resources available. You can talk, you have the right support system, and if you don't, just making sure you're active about reaching out. And we got Google. You know what I'm saying? You can do a lot of proactive work. So.
Yes, yeah. Be proactive about it because you don't want it to swallow you up, and then after that, you won't be able to recover from it.
Right.
Yeah, 2 questions just came in real quick. Have you ever been dropped? If so, how did you recover? That's by my man Tony Spoon.
Yes, in sparring. How did I recover? I got up to my feet and I got back and I tried to recognize my mistake and I moved out the way. I boxed so I didn't get hit again. And then once I regained my, like my legs and everything, I started boxing again, So, just get back up, man. You get knocked down, get back up. Easier said than done, obviously, especially if it's happened multiple times. But how did I get up from it? It's like there's no reason to ruminate on past mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. So once you make a mistake, don't dwell on the mistake you made. Figure out how you can move forward. Figure out how to not to make the same mistake again, and you'll be fine. That's
right.
fine as well.
That's right. That's last question. We asked everybody. It's my man Wheels of Steel. Special shout out to my man Wheels of Steel in the building. He said we asked everybody this question: who won between Ray Leonard and Hagler? I don't know if you watched that fight probably a couple of times. Who do you feel like won? They always ask that question, man.
Yeah, I watched that fight at least half a dozen times. Man, I think that it was both fighters had like bright spots, of course. I think Ray Leonard won because every time Marvin Hagler did something, even if it was a little bit more damage done, like Ray Leonard would respond with a quick flurry and then move out the way. So he finished the interaction, and people, they are more likely to see the last thing that happened. And so I think that, he was able to maybe sway some judges in a certain way. I think he won, and make it look nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, he was just, it was performative. It was performative, right? So I think that, I think I have to give it to Ray Leonard as well. Yeah.
All right, there you have it. There you have it. Melvin and Wheels of Steel. That's your favorite question. Victor Vicious Williams. He answered that question for you. Victor, I can't tell you how delighted I was to have you on the channel. Thank you for taking the time and come and chop it up with us. If y'all don't know, this is Victor Vicious Williams, and he has a fight October the 15th. His first 4 fights, 4 knockouts. So that's more than enough reason for you to go and watch him knock out the 5th opponent. I can't tell you how thankful I am to have you on the channel, man. Continued success at that fight. I'm going to be there at the next fight. I look forward to actually chopping it up with you, man, before and after the fight, champ. So let everybody know where they can find you at, and let them know where they can find your company at.
Dope. I appreciate you having me on the show, man. You can find me on Instagram primarily at The Boxing Guy. The Boxing Guy, that's 2 G's. And you can find my business, Fightshapefit, at Fightshapefit. Real easy. All right. So check us out. Come train with us. Come watch the fight, and just become all around better. Get some entertainment too. So that's about it. I appreciate you again, Lou. It's just been dope, man. I can't wait to talk to you on fight night.
That's right, man. And let's make another episode for when you knock the 5th guy out. We can bring you back in, and we can talk about the 5th KO.
Let's do it. Let's make it a sequel. Yeah, I'm down, man. So
that's right.
And we'll get something on the board.
That's right. I always got words before I leave. Stay humble, stay hungry, and always live your life to the fullest. We appreciate you for coming in. Everybody in the chat who chimed in, Spoon, Wheels of Steel, Lorenzo, Boxing Enthusiasts, everybody who laid steps on this platform today to come out and support Victor Vicious Williams. So with that being said, man, we about to hit the bricks. Victor got something to do, and so do I. So with that being said, we up out of here. Peace.
Yeah. Nah, no profit. Yo, where you at? Where you at? My homie Lou on the mic. Them other hosts need to stop. They ain't doing it right. If you ain't turned into Lou, what you doing with your life? Conversation so sharp, it ain't your usual night. We got athletes, entrepreneurs, even celebrities. Politicians discuss nationwide discrepancies. Hardcore tackling issues in our community. Spreading our knowledge, creating an opportunity. Tune in live with Liteskin Lou. 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 Liteskin Lou. Liteskin Lou.